You guys know the drill by now. Every once in a while I come across some incredible Minecraft plugins that are very fun and cool, but they are not big enough or don't store enough content for a full dedicated video. But it would be a shame if those plugins would never be shown, which is why I saved them up and put them all together in a top 5. Welcome to 5 fun and cool Minecraft plugins 5.0. Make sure to double check if you're actually subbed to the channel and consider checking out my Patreon if you want to support the channel and help me to continue making these videos. So the first plugin on today's list is called Relic, and this is a plugin based on curios and trinkets that adds relics to your game, which you can then equip, and they will give you certain effects. So after installing the plugin, when I type /relic, it will open up the relics menu, and over here you can see additional inventory slots where you can input things like, for example, a ring and a belt and a charm. Now the plugin Relic only adds this actual inventory. There's another Minecraft plugin by the same developer called Antiquities that is basically a must-have for the relics plugin, because it is a plugin that will actually add the relics that you can use inside of this inventory. So when I execute this command, abyssal lib content items antiquities, abyssal lib by the way being a dependency for both of these plugins, then it will open up the menu with all of the different relics inside. So you got an invoker's mantle, which when your damage falls beneath 30%, it will summon 2 vexes that protect you for 15 seconds. Then there is the Chorus Buckle, which when you press sneak and drop at the same time, it triggers a safe random teleport within a 16 block radius. Then there is the Blaze Ember Ring, which allows you to ignite enemies. And furthermore, we got the Echoing Circlet, the Idol of Depths, Membrane Cowl, Strider Hide Gridle, Witch's Brewstone, and Piglin Signet. Now let's just grab all of them, and then when we open the relics menu, here we can simply equip them. So there we go. Let me make sure to put one in every single slot. Nice. And now all of these effects are active. Now these relics can be found in vanilla survival as random drops from mobs, but as a server owner you can of course distribute these any way you'd like. Very cool plugin. I would highly recommend taking a look. Now the next plugin is an extremely simple one, but very cool nonetheless. It is called Gain XP Display, and it is a plugin that shows exactly the amount of XP that you gain whenever you gain XP. So if we for example send a mob to the Shadow Realms, you can see that I just gained 1 XP. Now let me do it again. There we go. This time I gained 3 XP. I'm sorry little baby. I'll let you live. But let's say we grab something out of a furnace, we will also gain XP and it will show up there. And when I have an item with mending, you can also see when XP goes towards repairing the mending item instead of filling up your XP bar. So when I go ahead and kill some cows using this mending sword, you can see that once in a while it shows mending repair, indicating that instead of me actually gaining XP, the XP is going towards the sword to repair it again. So very simple concept, small plugin, but a really cool one nonetheless, so do for sure check it out. Now the next plugin on today's list is none other than Rust Beds. This is a plugin inspired by the game Rust, and it essentially completely overhauls the bed and respawn system inside of Minecraft. So I have one bed over here and then another one over there, behind the grass. When I go ahead and right click this bed, it will go ahead and register. After that we're gonna move to the other one and we're gonna register this one as well. Now that both beds have been registered, we can manage them by typing /beds. Inside of this menu, you can see every single respawn point that you've saved. So these can be beds, but if enabled in the config, also respawn anchors. And if we go ahead and select one, there are a bunch of different settings here that we can change. So we can rename it, for example, to something like subscribe, because I would appreciate it a lot if you did. You can see this respawn point is now called subscribe. And this one is bed 2. Now by clicking on this button, you can make it your primary respawn point. Currently this one is already, but if we select bed 2, then we're able to click here to make this our primary respawn point. Meaning that from now on, if we die, we respawn at the black bed instead of the white one. And what you can also do is transfer this respawn point. Yes, you can transfer this respawn point to someone else. So if you've registered a bed, you can actually transfer it to another player so that they will be able to respawn on here. That can be extremely useful. Of course, you can also remove it by just clicking on remove point. It is now gone and we would have to register it again. By typing /bets admin, it opens up the admin menu, and over here you can see every single player on your server that has registered respawn points. Then you can simply click on them and you will then get an overview of all of their bets and anchors. As an admin, you have a few more tools at your disposal, so you can also rename it in case somebody renamed it to something inappropriate maybe, but then you can also teleport to the bet just to see where the location is. So if I click now, there we go, we're back at the white bet. We can also teleport the player to a bet. So maybe someone is stuck in your world somehow and you want to bring them to safety, then you could literally teleport them to their own respawn point, which is pretty cool. You can also give the respawn point to anyone else. So instead of transferring it, which I showed previously, as an admin you can override this and you can literally give it to someone, no matter if they're online or offline. And of course, you can then remove it too. I would say this is a really cool plugin and a very cool system. The Minecraft respawn system is really basic, and this plugin definitely takes it to the next level. Now, the next plugin on today's list may be one of my favorites. It is called Tome of Echoes, and it allows you to store building blocks inside of a magical tome. So when inside of this crafting table, we place a bundle in the center, surrounded with obsidian like this, and then we place an Eye of Ender on top, we got ourselves the Tome of Echoes. As soon as you have the tome, you can open it by holding it in your hand, crouching, and after that, left click. So what we can do now is bind a page of this tome to any Minecraft building block. So for example, let's mine a hay bale. There we go. We're now gonna open the tome and the hay bale we're gonna place inside. There we go. Echo of the hay bale has been created. And now you will see that as soon as we mine more hay bales, they do not appear inside of my inventory. Instead, they get sent directly to the rift, which means they are stored in the tome. So let me just get some more. Let's fill up this page a little. I think I got all the hay of this entire village. Nice. Well, then we will open the tome again, and you can see that currently 14 hay is stored here. Now at any time, if we want our hay back, we can just left click on the block we want, and there we go. All 14 have been sent to my inventory. But you don't actually have to do this, because if we send it all back by shift and left clicking once more, what we can actually do is right click on this tome, which makes us enter the placement mode. And what we can do now by holding our tome is right clicking anywhere on the ground and it will actually place that hay bale. So we can now just continue placing hay bales until all of them have run out. Now in this case I just did that with a stack of 14, but imagine if you have thousands of stone blocks and you're making an incredibly huge build. How awesome is it if you don't have to change stacks or reopen the tome every single time? You can just continue clicking until all 6,000 have run out. That is really overpowered. Now, if we take a look inside of our tome again, you can see that only one page is unlocked. Right now, it is occupied by the hay bale. But if we want to unlock more slots, we have to unlock it with netherite. So what you can do is go to a smithing table, place the Tome of Echoes inside together with a netherite ingot and a netherite upgrade smithing template. And this will then give you an upgraded tome. So like you can see, an additional page has been unlocked. We can now bounce this to any block we want. Now, while this can of course be extremely overpowered, you saw how expensive some of these crafting recipes are. It is gonna take you some time to get a tome in the first place, let alone upgrade it so that you have 2 pages available. So it is really gonna take some grinding before you can fully utilize this tome. Of course, you can edit all of this in the config if you want to make it available to everyone. That is also totally possible. And something else which you can do is set the plugin to a server mode, which is where admins in the config can define shared tracked materials. In other words, blocks that will be shared across the entire server. And everyone on the server will be able to withdraw and deposit blocks from that stack. So really cool plugin. I absolutely love the concept. I would highly encourage you to check it out for yourself. And then the last plugin on today's list is none other than faster hoppers. This is a Minecraft plugin which adds different tiers of hoppers to your Minecraft server. Ones that are faster than a regular hopper in Minecraft, because hoppers are great, but they are also kinda slow. So what if they're just not slow? Here we got every single hopper in the game. All the way on the left we got the normal vanilla Minecraft hopper, and then all the way on the right, the fastest one of them all. Just to give you a comparison, this is how quickly a stack of diamonds drains inside of a normal hopper chest. Okay, that's about the speed, keep that in mind. Now, moving on to the slowest faster hopper. This is the speed, a lot faster. Then the second slowest one, that is absolutely not slow whatsoever. Then the regular slow one, really quick, that's 12 at a time. Then the fast one should be, yes, 16 at a time. Okay. Next up, we got the faster one, which is 20 at a time. The fastest one, which is 24 at a time. And then the extreme one. For the extreme one, I gotta just duplicate these a few times more because it's a whole stack at once. Literally instant. So if you like doing things with hoppers, but you think they're just way too slow, then now you know which plugin to install. And that is gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, channel members, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. See you later. Bye bye.